Hi, welcome to the Dirt Trail Running Podcast. My name is Michele Hartwig, and I am owner, founder, race director at Ornery Mule Racing. And tonight we're having an Earth Day Trail Race 2023 race recap. And I'm here with the Jeffs that will start introducing themselves, as well as a few other people.
I'm the original Jeff Lenard.
I'm the other Jeff Goodmanson.
And what do you guys do at the race?
What do? We do sort of course
Marking.
I won't say modifying.
We're
kind of in charge of the course.
Yeah.
I guess I would say, right? In
Yeah,
charge
we
of
make
the
it-
Course directors.
Course directors.
Yeah.
Sounds so official when you put the title on the back
Course
of
fun
it, right?
makers.
Yeah. Fun makers. Yeah. So we mark the course. Have people out on the course during the race.
Make it fun for the
nobody cuts
runners.
the course. Yeah. And enjoy watching the runners on the course. So yeah.
It's a blast watching them go by.
And then back on the couch, so we have extra people back here on the couch. So why don't you guys introduce yourself?
I'm Nicki Wright. I work at Ornery Mule. I do the shipping. I try to anticipate all Michelle's needs. I run around like a lunatic and just try to do all the things.
And she's really, really good at it. The more you get to know me, the more you know what all my needs are before I do.
That's my goal.
And I'm Sid. I also work with Michele at Ornery Mule Racing. Pretty much just do whatever needs to be done, cheer everybody on at the races, and work at a couple of the other races as well.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about like what goes into, race day, and going right back to Nicki and Sid. So you guys have been with Ornery Mule Racing. Well, Sid's been around forever, and then just kind of
He's so old.
gradually, since probably our first Frozen Gnome, I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, I started running back then, but I didn't really start working with you until you took over Kettle.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been more in-house working.
Yeah, but you've been running the Ornery Mule races since,
Right.
I think, it feels like the first Frozen Gnome. And
I
now
might have
you had a big beard.
Yeah, I
back
might have
then.
missed the first Frozen Gnome. I think I've done it 6 or 7 times. Same with Earth Day. So
And then just kind of transitioned into volunteering until you were working here.
right.
And then Nicki, you came in like 2020 or 2021.
2021, I started just like doing the shipping, taking that over. And however, Earth Day was my first race in 2015
Okay.
that I ever did. I went from a half to then in November jumping into Earth Day, and I was instantly hooked because Earth Day is such a great introductory ultra or trail race. Honestly, I feel for everybody it can really get you, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, it's actually the first Ornery Mule Racing event that I designed and planned, and it was because I wanted a very beginner-friendly course. I like the idea that you just do a 5-mile loop. Before the Jeffs got a hold of the course, it was a little bit easier of a course. They talked me into more hills, which everybody loves. And I think that it is a very beginner-friendly, like right in town, nothing stressful, easy to get to.
For sure.
But so you guys have both been here for a while, and it's taken a lot of the pressure off of Royal and I on putting the races. And so we prepare for a long time before the race to get ready for the race. And this year, because you guys have so much experience, I'm doing my work, and I'm going, Nicki and Sid have already done all my work. So I started doing my husband's work, and he normally takes off 2 weeks before every race to get prepared for each race. So all of his vacation days and more, he takes more vacation days than he has, are getting prepared for our races. And so this year he couldn't get those days off. And so he was going to have to jam a lot of stuff into just a few days. And he came home on Wednesday before the race, and he's like, everything's already done. I'm like, well, Nicki and Sid did my work, so I did your work.
Nice.
But it's real exciting for Ornery Mule Racing with all the years of putting stuff on. I feel like everything's getting easier. We can always use more help. The volunteers are amazing. But it's nice that the in-house is going really well as well. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about what you do to anticipate my needs and and get ready?
Well, I mean, we take care of all the race merch and get it set for the runners that are running and then for sales. This year we got to have a shop, so people were able to buy some of the merch that they've been looking for or just available at the race so that they could get it.
And you get it organized so it's easy to find. So
Right.
And also plastic containers so that it
Which we
doesn't get
needed
rained
this
on.
year, yeah. Sid took care of all the bibs, right?
Right. Yeah, everything from folding the T-shirts to organizing them in bins. And this year for Earth Day, we had painting parties for the medals. Those were all hand painted, so that was a lot of extra work. We had a lot of help with that.
We had the Girl Scouts and just runners come. How many parties? We had 2 parties plus the Girl Scouts.
And then a few CLB nights.
Right.
Yeah, so Crystal Lake Brewery.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
Can't believe I
tough
missed that.
job. We had to go sit there and
Yeah.
paint and
Oh,
talk.
that's work, huh?
For non-artistic people, it was incentive to actually do some painting.
And then somebody had to put the string
The
through
strings
all of
were the
those
worst.
medals.
The
and
strings were the worst.
And that was me. I
Worst.
did all of them.
No, you didn't. I did some, but Sid he did a lot. He did a lot.
Yeah, so 460 finisher medals, plus all the age group awards on top of that. So 108 age group awards that we had to string.
But every
We,
single
as in
runner,
they.
We as in they.
Yeah.
every single runner comes in and comments about how unique the medals are and how much they love them, and they stand there for a while trying to figure out which one they want. Like
Yeah.
They're
it
all
isn't
so
like
good.
they just really think it's a neat thing. So totally worth it.
Yeah, Megan's dog, some people were so excited because Megan's dog named Betsy, right? There's
Betty.
Betty. They put paint on a medal and then put it in a plastic bag and then closed the bag and put peanut butter on the top. And then the dog licked the peanut butter off, and then that caused the paint to go all over the
Yeah,
medal. So it
pattern.
was made by the dog, and they were
cool.
so cute. And a lot of people really were. And then we put "by Betty" on the back of that, and they were. So one person actually signed up just because they wanted Betty. It was Betty's running partner at Run Club up in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, really cool. Well, thank you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to add about?
Well, I mean, we do still have. Well, I mean, we have his medal in the bag, still here somewhere. We couldn't find it during the race,
Well,
so
he chose a different
chose
Well,
one.
we gave him another one. I'm just saying that kind of stuff happens at race. We put something special to the side so
Yeah.
we don't lose it, and then just can't find it. And so I knew where there were other ones, but that's typical race stuff.
Yeah, so and now we've got cleanup to deal with, so all that stuff comes back to the shop. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. And then you guys also organize the Jeffs now. We'll move on to about organizing. How do you set people up at all the corners? That's one of the really great things about Earth Day race is everybody's so excited because there's so much support on just all along the trail of happy people out there.
Kind of starts with setting the course up, though. So credit to Royals and Sid. We came in, Tuesday during the week? We came in to get all the course mark supplies.
Everything was all ready for
all the
us,
signs, but it's all so organized. It's so great to come. It's just, we found it so easily.
Oh, good.
And then we generally talk about the people on course, and go ahead, you can tell
Yeah,
me.
we've got a kind of a core group of people that help us as course marshals every time, and it changes a little bit based on everybody's availability, but everybody loves being out there, and we know
It's preferences.
preferences. People have their favorite spots now and things, and there's overall, I would say you probably wouldn't need a single person out there because of the way it's marked. But anything that could be considered slightly challenging or confusing, that's where we have somebody, and it's a good spot to cheer people from too. So
Yeah. That's mainly their job, is cheer people on.
Yeah.
We've got it down to a science now. We're marking it pretty darn good. The wrong way signs really, really help. So
And you have people
Yeah.
in costumes out there cheering them on.
Yeah, Doug
And
was
we-
friend.
Doug again. #friendly bones. Right?
Oh,
He was out in leg bone this year again because he loves being out in the leg bone where it branches off to Bryce's Pass there.
Oh, okay.
And so he's right at that intersection, and he brought 6 costumes this year, so he could change for every loop for somebody. And every time they come by, they're like, "Oh my God, look at him again!"
Yeah. And they're not just like tiny costumes.
No,
they're like
no,
major
it's like a
Yeah.
full,
theatrical.
like his first one was the bunny from A Christmas Story, the kid
Yeah.
in the bunny outfit. And then he had a Christmas tree. He had a piñata. He had a one of those sail things. You know,
Yeah, I
that
was just
blow
gonna
around,
say,
right?
is
One of
that
those.
that red man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those. He had his patriotic onesie. So it's all like these onesie things that completely cover him up. So he stays warm.
Yeah.
But everybody just loves seeing, especially the changes. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, is that you the same guy? So we tell him. Yeah.
Where does he change at?
Just right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so he has.
We're not going to talk about what he's wearing underneath those. We don't know. But, the runners seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, I liked his post after the race that he was kind of regretting the Christmas tree when we had all the snow during Earth Day, more snow than frozen gnome.
He brought the snow.
But you said you looked up the word. It wasn't actually snow because it was like big balls of
Grapple?
sleety.
Is that how you pronounce
Yeah.
it? Grapple?
Yeah.
It's a new word they made up, apparently.
Yeah.
This year,
Fake hail.
this year
It was
course
like
setup
slush
though
falling from the sky.
was a little harder than Frozen Gnome. We didn't have enough people. Generally, we've been able to like go opposite directions and meet in the middle. And this year, we only have 3 people. And then luckily, Brent Amond met us out in the trail.
Yeah, for marking.
So it was just me, Jeff, and Eric Bloomquist.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of stuff to carry. And
Yeah.
you can't split up and only one person carry that stuff. It's just too heavy.
Well,
So-
we already started designing new signs that are
Smaller.
smaller to make it easier for you guys to carry.
We're going to talk about permanent signs out there so we don't have to take them out and put them in.
Wouldn't
And they'll
that be awesome?
There'll be different color ones for the different races or something.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Be
Well, I
easier to
suppose-
train too.
What's that?
It'd be easier to train
Yeah.
if the
Yeah.
signs
Yeah,
were
right?
there.
Yeah, then
No, the
people could
chorus.
come out.
They won't be able to change it. It's
awesome.
easy.
That's true.
Yeah, how would you add
How would you
all
make it
the extra
harder?
hills?
Yeah, never
every
mind.
At the end of every race, everybody is always like, they found more hills this year than normal.
Earth
everybody
Day this year
swears.
was maybe a tenth and a half different than it was the previous year.
Yeah, and Frozen Gnome hasn't changed for a while either. Maybe like a
No,
tiny
it
Not
little
really.
Well, didn't you add Tin
Well,
Man
we
Alley?
did.
We did,
Tin
yeah, it
Man
did change. It
Trail,
was new this
yeah.
year. A
the
little,
10-man.
but
Yeah,
barely.
That was a
barely.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
That 10-man trail is super cool.
That wasn't an Earth Day?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then so the Royals, my husband Royal and my son Royal, they do the setup on Friday night, and Reese, who we will talk about in a little bit, who set the course record, he's one of the coaches at Ornery Mule Racing. He came on Friday night and helped with the setup there, so that was really cool. We had packet pickup here at the shop. And we had quite a few people. Like it was one of our busier packet
was.
pickups for. We had a really busy. They were real busy before COVID, and then after COVID, they kind of slowed down, and now they're starting to get really busy. It's fun. Yeah, come to our packet pickups because it's a good time to get to talk when we're not in the cold and hanging out.
And you get to see the shop and
Yeah.
look around. Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of great stuff at our shop. So, Nicki, me, and Sid, but we don't do a lot of guy stuff. We need to do more guy stuff. Guys need to tell us what
What they like,
want.
yeah.
Because we're better at choosing girl stuff, but we have a lot of good women's clothing. So let's see. Well, I guess we should talk about how many runners we had. We had approximately 375. We had a lot of race day signups. And so I'm not totally sure on that final number, but we had 304 finishers. It's the crispy dumpling, so Chris Pagacco, he did an amazing, so the crispy dumpling's the YouTube show. So go to his YouTube channel and you can see an Earth Day video that's really good. He does a lot of videos at all the races, but it's crispy dumpling, but his real name is Chris Pagacco. Did I
It's a
say
great
that right?
video.
It sounds right.
Yeah,
Sounds
but
good.
it's really fun to see the start, and I love how they go around the little pond
Yep.
and just see all the people, and everybody looks so happy in the woods. And it was green this year. It's not always that green.
True.
Every once in a while, it's still kind of dead, but we had a season where everything came in really nice. And then, so we had a new timing company this year, Lee O'Connor from Racemaker. And I wanted to give him a shout out because we had a really great time. Our timers have always been really good, but Jenny noticed that he didn't even make a hint at cleaning up before 4:30, and our cutoff was actually 4. So because there was people on course,
Yeah.
he didn't do anything. And a lot of times they'll like start taking little stuff to their car, and you could start to see the whole thing come down a little bit. He was there cheering on to the last runner, so that's really fantastic. If anybody's looking for a timer that cares about the runners, that was really nice.
Yeah, and he showed up Friday night at Packet Pickup and, hung out for a little while. And Saturday was just great. It was very helpful.
Very smooth, yeah.
Yeah, and I only had one thing that needed to be fixed, and that was just somebody's name because they forgot their bib race morning. And so we had to make them a new bib. So their name got uploaded wrong because of that. And that's and that wasn't his fault at all. But normally there's like there's always one little thing that you got to fix, one or two things. But we've had really great timers, but he did really well. So
That was kind of nice too. He actually asked the actual mileage of the course so you can get the splits and the mile times.
Yeah, the splits were
He
awesome.
wanted to know exactly how long it was.
Oh,
And
okay.
no one's ever asked that before.
Oh, I think they ask me usually, but
He asked
but
me, and I sent him over to Jeff.
oh, okay. Yeah, when I ran the loop with you guys, it came up short for me. Everybody else's watch said 5.2, and mine only said 5, even though I ran the whole loop with
it's
you.
fine.
You saw you
It's 5
take
and a
that
quarter.
shortcut, though. You took that one little shortcut. No.
Yeah.
It's 5 and a quarter if you run it, but it's 6 miles if you walk it.
Why?
Because the
Well, I
GPS,
think
Well, I
it's- it
wasn't running
pings every-
faster than you
you
guys.
take a step
the
to left
GPS
and
pings
Yeah.
Yeah.
closer.
Huh, that's
We marked it, it
interesting.
seemed longer,
Hey,
but
are
it
any of you
wasn't.
guys getting this weird ping on your phones when you go into leg bone?
Just before leg bone, it messes up. Mine never.
Well, I get this crazy ping in my headphones. I know this is super, I'm segueing hard, but so no one else is. I don't know why it's
Sure.
happening. It happens like 2 or 3 times as I run through leg bone. It's like the loudest thing you've ever heard, like pinging in your ear.
Do you have a
Well,
Garmin?
you know why it's called
don't.
leg bone. It's probably the ghost steer.
Well, it didn't used to happen. It just started the last couple of months. Okay, sorry, I just hijacked that.
Just hearing things.
Maybe ask, people at the race.
Okay, no,
Trying to get
Let's
back to the race.
see.
sorry. That wasn't that hard to say.
So what should we talk about next? Should we talk about Reese's course record? Next,
Oh,
or
there was a
what?
course record?
Yeah,
Did he do that?
he did.
Oh.
That was amazing to watch him out there all day long, and the splits are just insane. Was there
Consistent,
20 seconds
right?
off the 3 first loops? Like,
Yeah, so his splits were, the first one was 36:11. So it's a 7:11 minute pace is what he ran for a 50K on a pretty technical
That is
hilly
crazy.
course.
Yeah.
And so 36:11 first loop, 36:14 second loop, 36:31 third loop, 37:56 fourth loop, 38:37 fifth loop, and the last loop he sped up to 38:07.
that's crazy. That course is not that easy.
No. And
And it was also
No, I mean,
what?
it's people to run around, too.
It was snowing. You wear a pair
Right.
of shorts only.
oh
That's all he had
yeah,
on.
no shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he did handhelds.
Yeah, so it's impressive that his second loop was so fast because the first loop he was in front. The second loop he was having to pass how many people?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that takes time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he told me, well, we're going to have him on a podcast with his family because his whole family was out here. But he told me that he was out at Legbone and somebody's like, what race are you in? Like totally out of breath that was also running. And he's like, 50K. And he's like, good. I don't have to keep up with you anymore.
Must have been a 15 miler, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was way ahead of 15 milers, 5 milers. Like in fact, the 5 milers were, I mean, it was just, it took a while. Like I was kind of worried because it's like, okay, Reese has been through. Where are all the 5
Right.
milers?
Someone said he double looped to 5 milers. Some
He
of them.
did double
did.
loop
Yeah.
quite a few. They were proud of it. They were bragging. They're like, well, I was just double looped by Reese. Yeah, and then I liked. One thing, he didn't turn on his watch right at the start. He forgot to, so he didn't know how close he was to the course record, and he was only 6 seconds off from the course record.
So the record he beat too. That the original course was significantly easier,
yeah,
which says a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
And the conditions were good though. good just for the race, but the course was way harder than what was done in 2012 for that course record.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah, because it was part of it was actually on the bike path in the first when the course record was made. There was a little section of the course that everybody missed, so it was like 0.2 miles shorter the first year. But I mean, everybody ran the same course that year, but there was a little tiny section that got missed.
The course is longer than it says.
It's a little bit longer than a 50K.
Got to make sure you get the full distance.
Yeah,
It's-
everybody has to get it.
Get your money's
full
worth.
Money's worth.
But I liked what you, Jeff Goodmanson was telling me. So you were at the wide corner. About
Yeah, we're right outside of Legbone on the wide path there. We had a little aid station set up for water, and so yeah, got to see Reese come through every time. But he come flying down that road so fast, and then has to make a quick right turn into Legbone. So he'd do this sort of sweeping wide turn. So after his first loop, we'd have to I'd see him coming all the way, and I'd try to wave people, go get to the side a little bit. Leader coming through, because he'd be coming in so hot. And same thing when he's coming up the hill, coming out of Legbone, you'd see a line of people coming, and you'd see him in the back all of a sudden trying to get around, and we'd be like waving people, get to the side, leader coming. He'd just screaming up again.
That's actually in Chris's video. You can see him turning down in a leg bone.
Can
Yeah.
you?
Going really fast.
Oh.
He got that in the video. It's super cool.
And then running with him, because he would slow way down to run with all of us on loops
Oh, yeah.
for training runs.
So nice.
He would climb trees while we kept waiting
He made
for
us
us.
feel fast. 'cause
Yeah,
keeping
we're
up
like,
with
we're
him.
keeping up with Reese. But he would redo corners because he was memorized, because he was going after the course record. So he would go back and go, okay, I need to redo that. And then he'd wait for all of us to get through. And then he would practice how he was going to run through. So I'm so glad that he pulled it off. We were scared though at the finish line because we were looking at the watch. I knew we started right at 8. Because we always do. So I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's only 15 seconds left. Is he going to do it? And then all of a sudden we see him coming and we were going, go, go. And he just ran, and I mean, it was 6 seconds.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, really cool. But then, we'll get on to, actually, let's call a couple people because we did, and then we'll go a little bit more because there was a lot of great stories on the top people. There was a lot of people had PRs on that course. But let's give, so Jim Briscoe, a lot of people have been asking how Jim is doing because
I'm actually at home, and I actually thank all the running family that's reached out to both me and even Viv, sending a text to Viv asking how I'm doing, and I'm moving forward. I mean, that's all I can say right now. Things are looking on a positive note, and we've identified the issue, and I have to apologize for adding additional excitement to your race on Saturday. But no, I'm doing really good. So what was really ironic is I saw you over at Potawatomi, and Potawatomi was my first long run since December. I had surgery done, and I was off for a while. And so I told Viv I was going to do the 50 at Potawatomi. And so she goes, nah, go to 30. I said, okay, good. I'm going to go and do the 15 over Crystal Lake and Dolmy Earth Day, because I always like doing your race. I think I've done it since 2017, 2016, somewhere in that time. And I was ready to rock and roll, and unfortunately, something happened. And I was just really glad that I was surrounded by so many. It's like on your webpage how it says that ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And I tell you what, there are so many people that in my time when I needed some help, in my time of need, were there. And especially Laura Magrum, who came with me to the ambulance, which I lost my total bearings on the course around mile 4. I started getting sick, and And then I ran into Gloria, and I was talking to her for a while, and she had a friend of hers that was a doctor. And, you know, and talking about things happening, you know, I live in DeKalb. I wasn't driving. I usually go for runs on Saturday by myself. A lot of times I go to Shabana State Park. I don't carry my phone. And, you know, considering what happened, I couldn't have been in the best environment. And, you know, the hospital was closed. And what was really ironic, the cardiologist that performed the procedure on me asked me more about the race than how I was feeling. So the staff in Northwest was really amazed because I was in the ICU for a couple of days, and they were asking me, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And I says, "You're a runner?" I said, "Well, I used to be, but," and they started asking me, "Where's the way over here?" And the doctor said, "Yeah, my office is a walk up road." I mean, so I gained some exposure within the Northwestern medical community over at McHenry Hospital. So, you know, I'm looking at it, you know, even though it was a serious matter, I'm taking it to light that, you know, I was in the best environment, surrounded by the best of friends, and I've known you, Michele, for a long time, and that. What else? You know, I knew people around me. I knew, you know, being with the Trail family, you know, something bad happened, but it was in a very good environment that it did happen. So I want to say thanks to your guys, your team out there that came to my help. Oh, no problem at all. And like I said, there's so many people that reached out. I'm very humbled that people are asking how you doing, and some people I don't know, and I've met new friends along the way. And isn't that what it's all about? Is meeting friends, building relationships, and sharing the same common thread of being outdoors, getting out there and doing it. You know, it's so important as well that we keep ourselves active, that we keep ourselves moving forward, and being able, it doesn't matter if you're a 6-minute mile pace or if you're 20-minute mile pace, just being out there and enjoying it. And that's the beauty about what I see with your races, and even with the trail running community in its whole, that we're here to help each other. And trust me, those people were there to help me, and I will appreciate that probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah, so you guys, Galena
at the
Sky, are
HCC.
you guys all,
You had
are
a
you
cooler
both
beer?
coming?
I'm going.
I'm up in the air. I'm
The
trying to
station.
figure it out. I mean, I got a race weekend before, but that shouldn't stop me.
And now you know that Sid has a cooler.
I have to volunteer to watch the cooler, maybe. I don't know,
Yeah.
to make sure nobody
Touches
runs
it.
away with it.
We should mention our course marshals.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go on to.
Around the horn. What,
Can you-
say
can
two
you name
names
them
or-
Hit some
alphabetically?
names.
Yes, do it in alphabetical order.
I think no.
I did put all the
Course
bibs in
order.
alphabetical order.
Do it in course order.
Course order.
Course order, it'd be
That works.
Karen Johnson.
Karen Johnson, then Mike Johnson.
Wrong. Oh, see, out of order.
Oh, I am out of order.
Out of
I am out of
order,
order. Yes.
right? Dave Clow and Kelly Gorski.
Yep.
And then Brent Amon.
Bottom Pines.
And then, so we didn't have somebody there.
Mike
So,
Johnson.
Mike Johnson. Then
Mike, Tom, and Adrian.
Tom and Adrian Lever.
And you and Cindy.
Cowbells.
And Doug.
And then Doug.
Then
Leanne.
Leanne. Well, I was actually, I was in there too.
You were there twice.
I was in 2 spots.
Yeah. You were by the power lines, yeah.
That's it.
No, and then Chris.
Oh, Chris
was after
Allen.
Leanne. Chris
Yep.
Allen was at down the bottom, right?
Yep.
Brent said that he had the coldest spot on the course.
That's a bad spot.
Yeah, does the new person get
Was
that
he
spot?
in? Was
So,
he on Prairie?
so it was funny too. It's funny too because we the 3 of us ran the course in the morning, just to make sure everything was still there after we marked from Friday night. And then Brent's wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hope you got something warmer to put on. He's like, I might just wear shorts.
Oh.
He's like, I always wear
He
shorts.
just didn't dress
I'm like, you're crazy.
appropriately.
So I don't know if he
He never changed.
never changed.
He wore shorts all
That's
day.
why. Where was his spot?
He
Bottom
was at
Pines.
the bottom of the pines where
Yeah.
they turn and go back up
Yeah,
the hill. So
where-
it's kind of exposed
It is. It's
in the edge
Wingate.
of the
Yeah.
Wingate, yeah.
No, usually people get established in places, and there is some places that aren't as great as other ones. So the new people generally get the
Yeah, you got to
the
work
new-
your way up.
You do. It's
Right,
seniority.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an earned thing. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't be people-y.
Maybe you got to start dressing like
Yeah.
a crazy guy.
Right.
You get points for that. You will get points for that.
That's good. And then well, then we had a lot of kids in the race.
Oh man.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that was kind of cool.
That was
yeah.
super cool.
And Lucas and his nephew.
Marson
Marson.
from Medford. So
Yeah.
they're from Midwest States 100. They helped there. They got a brewery. It's called Lake 11 Brewery in Medford. And that's his nephew that came. And they ran, I think he said it was like a 13-minute pace. That's pretty
That's really
freaking good.
Yeah, that's
for
really good.
for the nephew. I thought that was really good. But Lucas raced the nephew to the finish. He did not let him win, and he
really?
did not win.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, let's go now, and he took off and he beat him. So yeah, he made him work for it.
That's Lucas from Medford. So at Midwest States, I don't know if people know, he was there to park cars in the morning. He volunteered the entire weekend until the race was over.
Oh, yeah.
He never went home.
Yeah,
He knew his nephew, who's what, 9 years old?
yeah.
He's 10 now.
10?
Yeah.
Like they didn't sleep for 48 hours or more.
Yeah.
It was
But
amazing.
Marson, the nephew, he wore that Midwest States hat the entire weekend. It was
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they brought their dog. Oh my gosh, that dog! What was its name? Like Chocolate or something?
I don't remember the dog.
He was out there. We were running the course on Saturday morning before the race, and they were out there walking their dog. So they were out there.
Yeah, it was a
Oh.
little cute
I
little
thought you meant
puppy
at
dog.
Midwest States at Earth Day, yeah.
Yeah, no, for Earth Day, he has a new puppy. It's called like Chocolate or something. I forgot darn it, I can't remember. But what? Pops. Oh, Hops.
Hops.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
For
Chocolate.
the brewery.
Close.
Yeah. That's close. Michelle likes chocolate more
I
than
like
beer,
chocolate
so,
more than
yeah.
beer.
Sid, you should have guessed that, right?
Yeah, so Hops.
You should for all the beer you drank there.
And then Nikki's kids came. You want to talk about your kids?
Well, my daughter-in-law wanted to run it, and then talked Libby, my 12-year-old, and then Heidi, my 10-year-old, who doesn't ever want to miss out on anything. So they kind of, I think, decided Brandy decided the week before, and then my little girls decided maybe the day before. And they started. They were all excited. Brandy wants to run Soul Crusher, and she wants my entire family to run Soul Crusher. Like, she loved it. She had a great time. She did say she's like, well, can we do one of your races here that has an easier course? And I'm like, this is it. You just did it. Like,
Yeah.
nothing's easier than this. But Libby also wants to run harder because my youngest daughter decided she was going to sprint the first mile, walk and have hyperventilate for half a mile, and then ask people for their hot spots so she could TikTok for part of the race. So they've decided that Heidi can't run it with them next time, and I feel like that's appropriate. And they finished, and they had a good time, and I'm excited that they ran an Earth Day race.
And they also painted some of the finisher medals.
They did, yeah. They were looking for theirs, and they couldn't find them, which is okay.
And then Natalie's kids.
4 kids, yeah.
4 kids came and ran. And
Natalie ran.
And Natalie ran. So we're going to I talked to Natalie. She said we can give her a call.
Hello.
Hi, Natalie. It's Michelle. You're on the Dirt Podcast.
Well, hi, everyone.
Hi, Natalie.
Hey, Natalie.
Hi.
Yeah, so we got Jeff, and then Nikki and Sid, and then my son Royal are here. So how are you recovering from Earth Day?
I don't feel like I really had to recover. I had a great time while I was there. Other than the rain snowstorm on the way home.
Yeah. And
Of
then,
course, it was a fun day. I was so glad that I got to see so many people. I felt like it filled my cup back up. Sometimes you forget that all your friends are in the forest, and then you go there and you're like, oh, look, there's everyone. Actually, I do have friends, and life is nice.
yeah, I liked what we talked on the phone a few weeks before Earth Day, and you told me a really cool goal that you were going to start doing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Would you want to share that? Because I don't want to give away your goal.
I would like to share that. So, and it's not a new goal, but I try to make a new friend every time I'm at a race, especially if it's somewhere that I'm not there very often. I try to always make a new friend. And this time, I was very excited. I got to make 2 new friends, and it was funny. I went up to them and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Normally, I'm the only black person. What's your name?" And they both started laughing because there was 2 black people I did not recognize, and they were not me, and they were not my children. And it was hilarious. So I actually made 2 new friends this time.
Yeah. So was it Lloyd and Courtney?
It was Lloyd and Gypsy, I believe.
Yeah.
Whatever the lady's name was, and she just looked so happy the entire time she was there. She looked beautiful and happy and was running fast, and she was incredibly kind and friendly. So I was really glad to meet both of them.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then your kids ran the race. You want to talk about, what did they have to say? You got anything to share on their experience?
They said they had a good time. They had fun. They liked the hills, and they liked the snacks at the end. That was a good time for them. They really enjoyed it. They had never done Earth Day before, and then 2 of them volunteered, and a lot of adults said some really nice things about my older kids who were volunteering, which I thought was very kind.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, they volunteer at a lot of the races, and my husband's excited because they're actually going to help him now at Kettle on the truck, delivering to
nice.
AC. So which 2,
Very excited about that.
and who is that?
That's Thorin and D'Angelo. So, and actually, when we were at the race, at the aid station tent, an adult came up to me and said, "We were doing the aid station, but then Thor came. He reorganized everything. Actually, everything's running a lot smoother now.
Oh, I like
Aid
that.
station now." And I was like, he is very experienced. He does have a lot of experience, and I thought that was just hilarious. And he was very happy as a clown, giving people stuff and giving them snacks and whatever.
Yeah, you guys have the only station at Kettle that's actually named Natalie's aid station. Every other station's named by the parking
street.
lot or
Yeah.
street.
That is the best. That's the best aid station too.
Oh yeah,
That is
everybody
the best
loves
aid
that
station.
aid station. Yeah, because
Yeah, some people came up to me and thanked me. They said they had a really good time at our aid station, and they thanked me for bringing the kids out, and it was really nice. And you know, the kids are kind of pushy because they know what to do now. So there has been adults who've said, you know, they told me that I needed something that I didn't think I needed, and then they were so pushy and they made me have it, and it turns out I did need it. Like, that's hilarious.
oh, well, that's cool. Do they run a lot of other races?
So they run a few here in Rockford. It just depends on their schedule because they all play music too. And we tend to have music classes and recitals and stuff on the weekends. So 2 of them are going to run at Run for the Fallen this weekend. It's Run for Veterans here in Rockford. They're going to do, I think, the 5K, and then another 2 are going to volunteer. And I think the ones who are running the race are going to volunteer after. And then another kid has a recital, and I'll be out of town. A couple of them did the Arnie Johnson 5K just a couple weeks ago. Rockford Roadrunners has a circuit, so for older people and for kids, you have to run 5 races and volunteer for 1 club race, and then for everyone else, you have to run 7 races and volunteer once. So they have no problems getting their volunteer credits, but it's sometimes a challenge to get all the races in. And then we have like a big fancy dinner at the end of the year, and they get like a plaque, and they get called up, you know, first, second, and third. So it's really fun for them to go to a fancy dinner and get an award. So we try to get at least 5 races in a year so they can get their circuit award.
Oh, that's really cool. I thought it was funny what you said about like knowing that they like awards when I was saying that Nicki had, however, 8 kids.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
And then they're like, hey, we win. We have more
Yeah.
kids in our family.
I'm happy to be beat.
Yeah, they are definitely award motivated. So
Well, we need to come
we
up
might
with.
have to see if we can get them out to Soul Crusher because the awards are super cool for that one. I think they would really like those.
Yeah. Yeah, those are really cool finisher medals. Well, they were really cool this year too. Next year we're gonna have to have some painting party with your kids because everybody would love your kids' painted Earth Day awards.
Oh, they would have loved that. I was really sad that we missed out. I'm one of those people. If you want me to do something, you've got to tell me, and then tell me again. Tell me put it on my calendar, and then like a couple days before, be like, "You remember you're doing this thing?" And then I'm like, "Absolutely," and I'll do it. But if it's just like posted on Facebook, I might miss it. But if I'm always game to come and help with whatever, as long as people just like physically tell me this is going on and I need you to come, then I'm always willing to go.
Yeah, we'll keep in closer touch. We talked about that, so we'll
Yeah.
definitely make sure we get them all included. So.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they had a good time in the race. I think it's funny how kids don't seem to know or care how far they're running, right? Because they run with Wildcats, so they run twice a week, and they're probably going, 2 or 3 miles. But then sometimes they'll come out with me for like a 5 or a 7 mile run, and nobody ever complains. And they're going faster than me and kind of going out and coming back. So they're probably going even further. But because they're children, it's like it doesn't affect their bodies or something, and they're like not at all bothered. And I'm sure that they put out their best effort when they were at the race, and not one single complaint, no one saying they're sore, like just no problems at all. I wish I felt like that.
Yeah, they were very smiley at the finish line and carefully chose their medals. It was so cute to see the ones that they chose.
Yeah, Kamira took a little bit of time. She didn't choose hers until I got there. And it was so funny because I was trying to carefully choose, and I was torn between 2 of them. And so when I finally picked mine, she chose the other one that I really liked.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I was like, you're so sweet. But yeah, she was like, no, this is the one I like. And I'm sure it was because she knew I liked it, which I thought was so kind. She's really sweet.
That's precious.
Do you get very many kids at Earth Day?
I think this was the most we've ever had.
By far.
Yeah.
And we've actually been talking about adding a kids run to there. I just can't quite figure out how, like, when would be the smart time for the parents to have the kids race? Like, to have them, like, run around the baseball field or something, but the parents are running. So, like, we can't do it at 4 p.m. Like, a lot of the parents will be gone. So we really would like to add a kids race, but we can't quite figure out how to
Should be before the race.
time it.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, but we need all of our
think
volunteers at Packet Pickup too.
I think but the thing is, if the parents are going to run, they're going to be out there for a while, and you don't want the kids to be finishing their race and then just kind of milling around unless they're used to doing that.
Yeah.
And 5 miles isn't that hard for a lot of kids. I think 3 to 5 is pretty doable for anybody probably over the age of 7. So maybe instead of just adding a different race, maybe just add a different award for them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now that there's going to be great pictures of all these kids out there running, maybe it'll give other kids, they're inspiring younger trail runners.
I try and encourage people to bring their kids to fall trail run because I have to stay at the start finish anyways. And I have so many kids already that it's not going to bother me if you just kind of like leave a couple. So I'll tell parents, like, if you want, your older kids can run with you and you can leave another child with me at the start finish. I've got a playground, I've got a bathroom. I'm just kind of milling around. The volunteers are making food and stuff like that. And there's been a couple of times where Jason has been like, where did you get that baby? That baby. That's not our baby. I'm like, no, this is definitely not our baby, but we can have it for now until they come back. Like, they should be back in about an hour. But I try and encourage people, like, that don't let that be a barrier. I'm used to having 8 or 9 of these around, so you can absolutely just, like, leave another child with me as long as the child is comfortable. The child will 100% be here when you come back.
And then your kids are great at taking care of them too, so you've got lots of helpers.
Yeah, and maybe that's the thing too. Maybe just we can encourage parents they can do a shorter race, and maybe they can just play at the playground, and maybe I can hang around and make sure that everyone stays alive and no one gets kidnapped. That would be an okay thing to do.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea.
A playground at Earth Day too, so. My
was a
kids
good
really liked
program.
it there. They were running around it before the race even started, and I was like, "Don't gas yourself! Like you're about to run 5 miles." But it's like they have no concept; it just goes over their head. Like we can absolutely run laps around this playground for 15 minutes and then go run 5 miles in the forest. Like it's no big deal, and it would absolutely have been a big deal for me.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. Well, thank you, Natalie.
So thank you very much for including them.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. We loved having you. We love your family so much. Everybody in the running community loves you guys. You are very generous with your time.
Well, I greatly appreciate you saying that. I feel like running gave me everything. It gave me all of my friends. It gives me all of my happiness. If you're having a bad day, you can just go into the forest and you feel better. And I'm still making friends even on group runs. I found a new friend in the forest a couple weeks ago who I can't wait for you guys to meet. He came and did Earth Day and he had a great time. But I'm sure he's going to come to more Ornery Mule events.
Yeah, I met him. He introduced himself to me and said that you brought him. Is it the one that you brought to Earth Day? The guy?
Yeah. I brought a new fellow to Earth Day. He came on a coyote run, and we gave him the name Fancy Pants.
That's his trail name.
Yeah. So now we have Fancy Pants and Fancy Hands. So I think we might be naming all trail runners with the name Jason. We might just add Fancy to something that might be a theme now.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Natalie. I'll be talking to you
All right,
soon.
All right, thanks for calling.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye,
Natalie.
Natalie.
Bye.
So I suppose now we can kind of move on to some results.
There you go.
And I don't know, where do you guys want to start? The 5 milers, or should we start with the 50K stories?
Go through the 5 milers first.
Okay. So let's see. For 5 miles, for females, 46:08 was Jennifer Miller, so she came in first. Sabina Bisorska was 48:36, so just, what is 2 minutes behind. And then Maria Brower was 52:41. And then for male, we had Jim Mazik, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. Nathan Smith was a flat 42 minutes. And then we had one Crystal Lake runner. The other ones were of Chicago and different suburbs. But one Crystal Lake runner, do you guys know him? Dave Eitel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave was third male.
Dave was a volunteer at Frozen Gnome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Dave's a great guy.
He's a Crystal Lake police officer.
Oh, I didn't know that. Crystal
Yes, big in our community. Just got a promotion I saw on Facebook.
Oh my
I
gosh.
do see his name all over the place. Yeah, the name's super familiar.
Wow. So Dave
Great guy.
Idol, Crystal. So on probably the Crystal Lake community page, is that where they gave him a promotion they were talking about?
Yeah, it's one of the,
Oh, that's cool. I wonder if that's why the police came to Frozen Gnome, or maybe they knew about Sid's cooler.
Or was it the cinnamon water?
I didn't have a cooler. Frozen Gnome.
If they came to
Right,
cheer
it
him
was
on.
that fireball keg. No, you
Yeah.
didn't have that there.
Cinnamon goo.
So then for the 15 miler, we had Dustin Lutenegg in 1 hour and 52 minutes and 50 seconds. So you guys, everybody listening, these are like target times for you to go to, and you want to earn one of those super cool trophies that Tasha and her fiance and then their friend made at Papa's shop in Apache Junction, Arizona. So 152.50 won the race. Matthew Rickert from Salt Lake City, Utah, 2 hours and 1 minute and 18 seconds. And then Todd Gunter, that's your guys' friend too.
Yeah, he had to pull out though.
He'd finished in 2:01.
Okay, then he was
39.
out by doing more loops then, because he actually got hurt during the race.
I thought he was
Oh,
running
okay.
the 50K
Yeah, he must drop down.
to the 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He actually had a bad leg. He had to pull out
Oh,
because
okay.
he won Soul Crusher and Frozen Gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of surprised to see that he was third.
He dropped
he was-
beforehand. He dropped distance.
Oh, down to the
okay.
15?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So he was
I
running
remember him
injured.
telling me about his leg when he dropped down.
Oh, okay. So he dropped before the race because we allow you to drop down to a lower distance as long as you do it. You can do it at packet pickup.
Right.
You can do it day of, but it has to be before you start running. You can't just go, man, I just ran that way too fast.
Right.
I'm dropping down. You have to navigate properly. So yeah, so that was the men, and then for women we had Rachel Weber. Let me know if you guys know any of these people. 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 4 seconds. And then you guys know, although we have the name wrong, it's Lacey Heaver.
It's
but
Lacey.
Yeah.
but I thought her last name was something
she's
different.
married, I believe.
Yeah, she's married.
Is she?
Yeah, so she has a new married name. Oh, let me see if I
Lacey's
can.
married?
So she came from Iowa, but that's
right.
Angel's daughter.
Correct.
And she did 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 28 seconds.
I think she won Slow Crusher.
She did.
She won
Yep.
Soul Crusher. So yeah, a lot of these people you see in the top. So, if you guys are watching and you think that you might be able to keep, these guys need some competition. And then Tracy Etheridge was 2 hours and 32 minutes and 49 seconds. Yeah, we should look up Lacey's real last name. It'll be on Ultra Sign Up because I had it fixed. So she'll be listed as the third female. Just so, well, I mean, Lacey Heaver, everybody will know who that is, but it'd be nice to get her current name so when people are looking up competition, they know who to be looking out for because she races hard.
Oh yeah.
All the women were racing really hard. They did really great. And then for the 50K, the men, I heard them all talking, and like the third place man, he beat his previous PR at Earth Day by 4 minutes, and he runs all the time there. But Reese, we already talked about him. He set the course record by 6 seconds. I wrote down 8, but it was 6 seconds.
What was the time?
3 hours, 43 minutes, and 38 seconds.
That's crazy.
Wanted to keep it interesting with the 6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, he just flies. And we went running with him at Garden of the Gods, the Shawnee National Forest. And when he runs, his feet don't touch the ground. Like he literally just glides over the trail.
He's like a gazelle or like those jumping goats, like jumping around on different rocks and stuff. Like he's just bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, it's different than what you normally see.
Yes.
He's something to watch. And he has the Dirt podcast, one of the Dirt podcasts we do is with the coaches. So Coach Loretta and Coach Reese do a podcast like weekly, every Thursday. They're way more consistent than we are. And that's a great way to learn how to run like Reese.
Good luck with that.
And then second place was Juan Moran.
What was Juan's time?
And Juan did 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 18 seconds.
He's come back from injury too, isn't he?
He had a broken ankle. He might have said he had 2 broken ankles, but I didn't want to go, did you just say 2 broken ankles? But that's what I thought I heard. And so 2 years, I mean, he hasn't been running much for 2 years. This was his first ultra back. And but he was he was setting course records places. He's he won a golden ticket to Western States one year at Black Canyon. And so he is a very, very talented runner. So it was so nice to see him come back, make his first race back at Earth Day. And he went out really slow. He was like 10th place on the first loop.
Oh, no kidding.
And he said that, and I said, you paced yourself really interestingly. And he's like, I got smarter as I got older. But he was kind of testing to see how his legs were doing and where to run, and then he started speeding up and he ended up in second place. And then Ryan Rickard, he does all of the races.
He's so
all the
consistent.
time.
Every race he's so consistent.
Yeah.
He's always top 3.
He always is. And this was a PR. That was the one that had a 4-minute PR. So
Good.
Ryan had a
Awesome.
4-minute
Nice.
PR. So the course conditions were fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Even though it was.
Even though it
It
got
did get
gooey.
muddy.
It did
It got
gooey.
muddy
Yeah.
toward
Yeah.
the end.
It got
But these
wet.
guys finished before it got muddy.
They finished before it got rough. And then for the female, we had another regular, Brianna Bauer. She won the 50K for female in 5 hours, 39 minutes, and 18 seconds. And then I'll talk about the other ones. And I know that Jeff helped out Brianna a lot. We'll hear a little bit of her story. And then Becky Patch was second place in 5 hours, 45 minutes, and 57 seconds. And Ellen Pavelak was 6 hours, 5 minutes, and 31 seconds. But Brianna, you had to give her your jacket.
So Bree has been racing there for the last few years, and every year she seems to have a problem at mile 28.
She has some challenges.
She has challenges.
She's a really good runner. Obviously, she won, but she's had some challenges after a while, and she had to work her way through one this year a little bit.
About mile 28, she was having an issue, and she came into Jeff and Cindy's aid station, and she was not in good shape. She was really struggling, freezing cold. So I gave her my jacket, but she was having issues. So I ended up doing leg bone with her. Just didn't pace, just ran behind her because I was worried about her health.
Yeah.
So I ran leg bone with her, and we're coming out of leg bone, and Jeff's in near there, and Doug and Tom and Adrian it was a little party over there in leg bone, and it was a party.
There was a party on the trail.
So leading back towards their aid station, I asked Bree, I said, "Are you ready to go by yourself? I'm going to drop you here." She's like, "No, I want you to go back with me." So I'm running back to the finish line, just to be sure she's okay.
Yeah,
So I was worried about her.
Not pushing her, just behind her to.
Yeah, I was not in front. I went behind her
Just to make sure
I was worried
okay.
about her.
Yeah.
And when we crossed the finish line, or she crossed the finish line, we got her squared away. She got her in good shape.
Yeah, she was shivering.
She was in bad shape.
She definitely needed to be taken care of at the finish line.
It's one thing for the last 3 years, she probably should have won the race. And at mile 28-ish, the same thing happens every year. So this year we talked her off the ledge, calmed her down.
She pulled it out, right?
And she was able to gut check it and do it. It was nice to see that she was able to do that after 3 years of trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I will say, a lot of people smile when they run on the course and go by you and stuff. Nobody smiles more than Bree when she was running, though. Just giant, big smile, just happy to be there, and she was flying. Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, we saw her at Friday at Packet Pickup. She goes, "Yeah, I'm just looking to have fun out there with friends," and she was all happy.
She ran with a friend for the first 4 loops.
Yeah, I think so.
And she left her friend and then started racing at loop 5.
Yeah. Oh,
I
wow.
don't know who can do that. And the girl came in second, Becky. She runs the park all the time. We don't know her. She doesn't really associate with us, but she runs there all the time.
Oh, okay.
She was
trains
once
there.
in a while out there, yeah. She looked really good, too. Yeah. She ran a great race. But, yeah, it's cool to see Bree pull it out.
Finally.
And she just loves running there, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Well, thank you guys for taking good care, and I'm glad that you followed her, because if somebody looks like they're struggling, it's nice that we got so many people out there to
After
keep
Jim,
an eye.
we had to make sure we don't have problems.
So I have an update. Lacey's last name is Wolfram.
Wolfram, that's right. So Lacey Wolfram was second in the 15-mile race. So that's a good recap of the show. We could talk a little bit about of the Earth Day trail race this year, and a big thank you to the Crystal Lake Park District. They trimmed it up, all the bush, the trees that were coming down, and
we did have one tree fall though.
There was one new tree.
We were marking a course on Friday night, and there's a new tree now.
Really?
So
oh my God!
It's okay.
There's been a lot of tree fall this year.
I didn't even notice it. I've been out there.
Break off as many branches as we could.
It had to happen like Thursday or something, maybe, because Friday it was there all of a sudden.
Oh wow!
But you can go over it. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, it's okay to jump a few trees.
It's a trail race, right?
Yeah.
It is a trail race.
Then our course sweeping worked out really well. We had was it Chris and Brent?
Oh my gosh, Chris,
Oh yeah,
Brent,
we forgot to talk about the sweepers. Yeah.
And then
Melissa and Genevieve.
And someone else, one of their friends.
One of their friends.
But we had plenty of course sweepers where
solid crew.
They swept to where Jeff was, and then Jeff and I swept leg bone. And by the time we got a leg bone, they were ready to do the rest of the course. So it was super quick. It was like it's getting down to a science now. We're getting better at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't believe how quickly we cleaned up. Because I should mention Caleb too. So Caleb came, he was out on course, and he is our social media manager, and he takes care of Instagram mainly, and then he pushes it over to Facebook some of the times. And but he did stories of a lot of different runners. So go follow our Instagram at Ornery Mule Racing, and you'll see over the next few months him sharing little clips of the race. He does a great job. He's really, really talented at that. We're lucky to have him. And then, so then also we kind of wanted to talk about some of the stuff we have going on here at Ornery Mule Racing. So we got the Ornery Mule Racing Run Club, and go to our Facebook page. If you go to ornerymuleracing.com, we have a link to that Facebook page right on the main page of ornerymuleracing.com. And then sign up for our run club. It's free. Everybody's welcome. We have running groups going on in Wisconsin, Illinois, different areas. So Matt and Danny, they put on runs in Byron, Rockford area. They're free runs, great support, super fun. Trish and Nicole put on runs in Wisconsin. And Nicole is always the last person, so she runs with whoever's the slowest, no matter what. She's designated caboose. So if you're looking for a run to go to where there's a designated caboose, that's a really good one. And then Jessica, she puts on races. Gosh, why did I keep saying races? Jessica puts on runs here in Crystal Lake. And she just does random, fun, interesting places that she likes to run at, and then she'll create a group run. And so all of that you'll find on Ornery Mule Racing Run Club. And then me, Nikki, and Sid do Thursday night runs here at the Ornery Mule Racing Trailhead. We'll be starting runs on Saturdays too, eventually, that are on the bike path. We'll probably do some out at Veterans Acres, but I'm training for Flat and Fast right now, so we'll be running the long runs on the bike path. So I still haven't transitioned. It's too cold. I'm still all on trail. I'll do all my trail runs during the week on trail, and then my Flat Fast on the bike path here, which I love running the bike path here. It's a really great. There's water the whole way. You can fill up water bottles. It's a really great place. So everybody's welcome. Please come join us for those.
Conveniently located right outside the
Right
trailhead.
outside the
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best
Right?
thing. It's literally
here.
like right out our front door here is the trail. And then the lake is across the street and there's trails over by that are really nice. So
Three
this is Three Oaks. So it's a really great place. And you can run to Veterans Acres. It's about a 2-mile run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to there.
So if you wanted to start here, run into VA, and then come back, that can happen too. Our next race is Galena Sky on May 20th. You can still sign up for that. We have plenty of shirts and all shirt sizes. We have the order in, but the shirts are really nice. They're made out of recycled material. They're white, and for the women, and the men's is a navy blue. They look really cool. Let's see. And then if you wanted to volunteer there, we have a volunteer suite that you can come out there, stay in the volunteer suite. And I haven't actually walked into the volunteer suite, which I really need to do, or maybe I just shouldn't because I've
Maybe you
not done it for so long. But every single time the volunteers say more people could have fit in there. It's like so big. There's plenty of room in there. And we have a couple of those. And then we have party and food afterwards. It's just a very comfortable place to go. But it's a really great race to sign up for. And Jeff's, you guys are coming, right?
I'll be there. Me and my wife.
And
Hopefully.
Yay.
And
Working it
Goodmanson
out.
maybe.
I'm a maybe, hopefully, yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a total Ornery Mule party there. And then we got Soul Crusher coming up on October 21st. You can sign up for that. We have that.
Hopefully a different kind of soul crusher.
Yeah, we're looking at a Friday night run. We're talking to see if we can arrange anything so that you can do 2 races. The Friday night, run the course Friday night, then come back Saturday morning and run it, and then we can have like a cumulative time winner for that, which would be kind of fun. So that's something we're working on. I mean, that course should be seen more
Maybe
than
great in the dark.
At night,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make a luminary soul crusher.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a really good race. And then here, yeah, go to ornerymuleracing.com. I did want to share, we just got Spring Energies back in. We got like all kinds of great flavors on our website. We had run out from our first big, huge order. So I know that's what Reese was using to set the course record. So if you need fuel for fast like
You
Reese,
want to run like Reese.
run like Reese. It's what I use too to fall and break my nose.
That's what I use. Western States, those 3.
Yeah, yeah. These are all really good. So my favorite is Canterbury. Like I was with Brent the first time I had Canterbury. So we were running, it was a 20-mile training run, and we were actually out by the lake, and I opened this up and I ate it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this tastes like ice cream. This is so good. Brent, look at this. And he's like, you are a dork. And then then I did the speed nut. That one's got caffeine in it. It's okay. I mean, this one tastes good, but I like it I like this one way better.
Though.
I liked it because it had a lot of calories. I
Right.
could just take one.
Yeah.
So it was 250 calories. The Canterbury only has 100.
Yeah.
I wish it had 250 calories for
You could
the-
just eat
You say
2.
2.
Yeah, I know.
it's-
That's what I'm going to do because it's so good.
Right.
But this one, I do like it because it's got caffeine in it.
Yeah.
But then this one has like nuts in it too. And I like just but this one's really good. This one's awesome sauce. It tastes like
Maybe we should do like a
apples.
tasting podcast
Yeah. We could
with
have,
with the wings.
we need to do hot wings and
Yes.
Oh,
spring
yeah.
energies.
That sounds like a nice
Let's have
mashup.
Doug on for the hot wing challenge.
Okay,
Show.
yeah, so
Yeah,
He's got all the
next
good
show.
stuff.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Let's do that. So the next show will be a hot wing. We'll talk about running while eating super duper
Oh.
hot stuff.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
in.
that.
Yeah.
Watch in the background.
Yeah. Okay, so we have it. So let's
Yay.
pick a date.
You gotta see how fast somebody could wolf down some ice cream, right?
Yeah.
Lots of ice cream.
After the hot sauce.
Oh, with the hot wings, yeah.
So, well, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening. Thank you guys all for coming
Thank you.
on this night, and thank you Royal for recording all of us. And see you guys all on the trail.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.